Thank you for staying with Daybreak. We're getting into the tail end of this conversation. Let's see. Michael Murimi, also known as Rags, says biggest mentor challenge is most of our young people don't have the commitment to stick to the path of hard work. They are hungry for quick success, and for the ones I have mentored, 30% of them drop off because they came looking to make a buck as opposed to harnessing their skills. Is that something you've dealt with, Ms. Yorks?
First of all, it's the person understanding, why do I want to be mentored?
Yeah.
What am I looking from out of this person? And for me, having gone to Strathmore School, it was a requirement that you have a mentor. And for me, that was the first time I interacted with actually what a mentor can do to your life. So when I started my professional career, I was very lucky to have somebody I could look up to, I could ask questions, and they were very, very honest with me.
Yeah. But Wahoo, sometimes some people can come to you and say that they want to be a star like yourself. Is that bad? Because Rags is saying that, yes, they do just want to come and make a buck. But if somebody tells you I want to be a star like you, is that the wrong driving force?
For me, I would say that's not the right driving force.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm the hugest believer in purpose, right? And purpose is gonna, you see, being a celebrity or being a musician, you have your good seasons and you have your low seasons. Now, if you wanted to just be a star, how will you withstand the low seasons? You might commit suicide, or
The
you
star is
might
dimmed.
exactly, you might get an issue with your self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? But if you're driven by passion, the low season will not affect you. You'll try to find out, how do I get out of it? So for me, I usually really try to dive. That's why I was saying I get to the bottom of why is it something that you've always wanted to do? Is it something you feel the desire to do?
Right.
Let's start there.
Just to add on to her, attitude is everything. Your attitude will determine your latitude.
But Dr. Catherine, at the end of the day, because again, a lot of young people say that this generation, they want microwave blessings. But work ethic and mentorship are two different things.
Not really. They're actually the same.
How
Because
so?
work ethic is about, like someone mentioned, the psychology of life. Those words I love, the ones you used. Yeah, the why. It's not the art. You know, the technique. The technique is different. There are colleges that teach that. So let's not confuse. The learning. You go to medical school to learn how to be a doctor. But the ethics of being a doctor, how you're going to relate, that is so different. Even though there's a bit of teaching on that, there's a lot you learn out of life. And there are some things, even as we're talking about mentorship, some things that just have to be experienced, to be learned. Your mentor may not be able to teach you that.
But Dr. Catherine, you find people who are very talented, work ethic, they are fine, they're great, but when it comes to their own, what Ms. Yoka has said, their attitude, it's different.
Yes, attitude is actually everything. In fact, it's everything.
Doesn't that not make it difficult to mentor such a person who is so talented, work-wise, but their attitude?
It's nearly, in fact, impossible, depending on, I assume you're talking of the bad attitude. Yeah, it's nearly, in fact, it's impossible, unless they go through some paradigm shift of sorts.
Exactly.
It's nearly impossible. Because actually mentorship is about the attitude. And attitude is just about, in fact, the lens through which you see life, how you choose to interpret things. For example, somebody may come to you with a problem. Then you tell them something like, you know, you can choose how to react to that problem, particular problem it is. And that is an art of, so this thing is happening, I'm going to choose to even ignore it. Some people will choose to delve into it. No matter how much you try to lift them out of it, because you can see clearly it's affecting their potential to practice their technique. You know, that which you learned in college, it's impossible.
Okay, Ms. Yorks, as a mentor, do you have the mental strength to take this person from changing their attitude into what they want to achieve?
And is that
Or
the
you just
job of a mentor?
Yeah, is that really part of
Yes,
your work?
it is. It is. It's part of your work to analyze, and because, as she's saying, you can't separate those two things. Yes, you may be very good at your work, talented and everything. Your success may be short-lived. You have to look at this thing from a long run. If your attitude is very brash, like, I just want to get things over and done with, yes, I learn what I want, you'll burn out very quickly. So you have to have the mindset for success and long term. You have to think long term. It's not a sprint. There's a very good book called Givers and Takers. And that book, it talks about how your mind frame is very important
Right.
to what you want to achieve.
Right.
So if you see somebody has the attitude of a sprinter, you try and tell them, hey, at some point, yes, you'll be successful. Success can come in many forms. But eventually, where do you want to see yourself? Because you tend to find that a lot of people who are very successful very early and have a very aggressive attitude towards life, they burn out later.
Okay.
But guys who are very mellow and take the long journey, so those are the kind of things you try and, advise them on their attitude. Yeah.
Rose, when a mentor and mentee relationship has run its course, because I like what Mr. Yuka has brought in, he's brought in the aspect of time, that it's okay, not all, maybe I needed a mentor for this season, for this 6 months or for 5 years. Is it okay for such a relationship to run off its course? And how do you sort of deal with that transition of saying, thank you for helping me during this transition, I want to go do my own thing. If our paths cross again, that's still okay.
It's usually, especially if you had a good relationship.
Yes.
It's
How do you have that
It's usually a little bit
conversation?
hard. But like in my case, all my mentees, we always keep in touch. Like 10 years later, we still talk.
Right.
But there's a distance though. But it's a little bit hard, especially if if you and her or you and him were kind of like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a little bit hard because I've had like mentees that I've had for like a year and then they leave. Like for me, at times I don't know how to deal with it because it's like they were part of my life and my business. You understand? But you just have it's just part of life. They have to move on. You see them succeed, and that's what you want as a mentor. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're about to get to the tail end of this discussion, but I'd like to give you some time for closing remarks. Looking into the future, what should people look for in a mentor, in a mentee? How do we ensure that the next generation is now mentored more if they need it?
You're pointing at me, so
Yeah, of course.
it's my time to talk. Just what you said earlier on in terms of once the mentorship has run its span, sometimes you may become friends. And as you see, career-wise, even in business, you find that most of your friends sometimes become the people you interact with. Yeah, so you may become friends or just live and let live. Let the people go. But what I want to say is that have diverse mentors. In all, there's no single mentor who will give you everything. So you may have somebody who mentors, you may be matters financial, or people diverse, so that you get from a diverse pool of people.
I think that is so good that you say that, Dr. Catherine, because a lot of the analogy behind getting a mentor is that I just need one person for this one thing, that diverse. Okay, that is a good note to leave it on. Lillian, your closing comment as well. And what should you look for in a mentor or mentee?
I think I would go for a very skillful person. I mean, you have to have what I want, and you have to be somewhere that I could learn a few things from you from where you started, whatever you're doing. So, and then again, I think people should learn the fact that a mentor is someone who you're supposed to take things professionally. This is not friends per se. You can't call them 2 in the AM, like, hey, where you? This is someone you're supposed to take with so much seriousness. So if you really want to be mentored, you have to carry yourself professionally.
Yeah, that they're not your friend. There's a level of respect.
There is a barrier.
Miskia, there's a level of respect. Mentoring this generation. Rose.
So for me, like the one thing that really gets me and the problem that I have with young people is wanting things too fast. If you want someone to mentor you, number one, you have to be willing to listen. You went to them because you think they have the experience, they've been there before you, they've done it, Just be willing to listen and be willing to put in the work. That's the other thing. Young people want things easy without putting in the work. For me, that's the one thing that I would love to tell young people. Please be willing to put in the work and you'll be able to be successful.
All right.
Yeah.
Sioks.
For me also, let's stop blaming the current generation for wanting microwave stuff. It's just that in our time, we also wanted microwave stuff. When you are young, you want things very fast. So I don't think it's a generational thing. But for me, my take is be very honest and open. A good mentorship relationship lies on honesty. If you see you can't help this guy, just cut it off early on. Otherwise, you'll keep on carrying emotional baggage. You'll never help him. You'll always be avoiding him. And they'll wonder, why isn't this guy being there for me? So you have to learn to be very honest, and when they come to ask you, just tell them this cannot work or this will not work.
Just to add on to what everyone has said, I would like to say that honesty, yes, is very important, right? Especially for your mentor to tell you where they failed, the things where they have failed, things they didn't do right, right? And also to remember that your mentor does not know everything, right? They present a good, experienced, view of how things should be done, but you can also take that and tweak it and make it your own, or not take it. I like what Kathy said. Have mentors in different areas of your life, marriage, business, financial, everywhere. Just go ahead. And there's no end to mentorship. I too have mentors. I too have people that I look up to who are doing well in their businesses much better than I am, and I sit and spend time with them. So there's no end to this kind of learning experience.
All right. Brilliant. Wahoo, Siox, Rose, Lillian, Dr. Catherine, thank you so much for making time. Simon Magak, watching all the way from Rome.